Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for March 2025. So on March 3rd, we are going to have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves, move out of the Pisces energy and start a brand new chapter in Aries energy. So first of all, this is going to be a major shift in our headspace. And I, for one, am definitely looking forward to that. It has been very hard to think clearly, to communicate clearly, to even have a good understanding of what the F is going on inside of you, let alone in the external realm with that Pisces energy. Again, it's a water energy. It's very fluid, very creative, very imaginative, very mystical. But with all of that, it's hard to put into words what's going on in our inner realm. And so Mercury moving into Aries energy, it's a cardinal sign, so we are definitely up for some change. It is a fire sign, so it's going to burn away a lot of the heaviness, the weight, the emotions that we have been processing in our headspace. That fire energy is going to bring a little bit of a pep back into our step. So let's talk about it. First of all, if you don't have your March energy guide in front of you, I'm going to recommend that you do that. We have to pay very close attention to what is going on when Mercury first dips into this Aries energy, because spoiler alert, if you haven't listened to the March energy forecast as of yet, we're going to go retrograde. We're going retrograde at 9 degrees in Aries energy, which is 1 degree of separation away from the point in which Venus went retrograde in that Aries energy. And of course, we later on in March have a new moon solar eclipse popping off in Aries energy at this exact same degree. So there's definitely multiple threads being woven, if you will, through the month of March, painting a very interesting picture of where it is that there's some major shifting taking place in our heart space, in our head space, and eventually in our physical realms as well. So we want to pay attention to what is going on when Mercury first moves into this Aries energy, because again, we're going to go retrograde in this Aries energy, retrace our steps, and then slip back into the Pisces energy. So to kind of give you a little bit of a bigger, broader picture here, Mercury is going to be in Aries energy from March 3rd to the 29th, and then from April 16th to May 10th. That is a huge chunk of time. With Mercury in this Aries energy, things pick up, things get speedy. And again, Aries energy, typically speaking, we want to rip that rear view mirror off. We have no want, need, or desire to look back. We only want to look forward. However, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of impulse. Yes, there's boldness and bravery and courage taking over our thoughts, taking over our ideas, taking over our ability to communicate and fully express ourselves outwardly. However, we could also see a lot of verbal vomit. And considering the fact that Mercury is eventually going to go retrograde, typically speaking, we have to watch our words, because we tend to kind of go balls to the walls in this particular energy, have a little bit of a verbal vomit situation, create a little bit of a misunderstanding in our relationship dynamics. Again, Venus is already retrograde. And then when Mercury retrogrades, then we're going to have to clean up that mess. Then we're going to have to revisit a lot of the topics and themes that are currently popping off as of right now. Thus, why I create those particular monthly guides in order to help you stay in alignment with these energies and give you an option and an opportunity to kind of journal, take notes of what's going on for you, especially in relation to where this particular energy is popping off in your solar chart and then your individual birth chart. You can really start putting a lot of the pieces together on what it is that you can expect from these particular transits. So of course, in this Aries energy, ideas, thoughts are just a pop-in. We are having a lot of new ideas. And again, just to put into a little bit of a different context here, the Pisces energy was wrapping things up, right? Yes, we received some downloads of new ideas, new creative, pursuits, new paths, new directions that we want to explore, we want to kind of pursue, but we couldn't make sense of it. And so in this Aries energy, suddenly the dots are connecting and we're eager beavers and we just want to dive into it. And although there are going to be some very small windows of opportunities to kind of, express ourselves fully and to take action on, expressing the ideas that we want to manifest, manifest and therefore start researching and exploring some ways to actually get there, there's going to be a lot of pressure in our heads. Now, I know there's been pressure in our heads, but this is a different pressure. It's almost like we feel like we're running out of time, like we have to figure out everything now. And with the fire energy and the impulsivity that comes with Aries energy, this is why we have to be a little bit more mindful of using a filter, which many of us are going to kind of realize that we don't have with this particular transit. We have to use a filter because this is a very raw energy, right? And so the way that we express ourselves comes off very in your face, very straightforward, very quote unquote harsh in a lot of ways, because there's just so much energy building up within us. We just want to get it out. So we have to explore where it is that, again, we have to strike a good balance between boldly and confidently expressing ourselves versus aggressively and trying to shove our thoughts and our ideas down other people's throats. Okay, so there is a little bit of a balance needed in that particular arena. So, of course, there's a lot of rapid processing going on in our headspace, thus the pressure. There's a lot of impatience or impulsivity, again, feeling rushed or hurried, like we have to hurry up and make a decision, hurry up and figure everything out, which of course we have to avoid doing at all costs. There's a lot of aha moments that are going to pop off that nobody else is really going to understand. And that Aries energy, again, is about the individualized identity that each and every single one of us has. And so there's a lot of independent thoughts really kind of popping off that, again, if you're lucky enough to be able to put it into words and express that outwardly, not a whole lot of people are going to understand. There is a lot of, I'm going to say, windows open in our minds, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of scatterbrain thoughts. And because of that, again, there is a pressure that, if we're not careful, can come off very aggressive if we are sharing our thoughts, our ideas with the people, with the world around us. Now, granted, there is a direct line of communication that is super helpful for a lot of the conversations that need to be had, specifically with the change of heart going on with Venus now retrograde. Mercury will eventually be joining her so that our heart and our head can go through this particular breakdown/breakthrough process and come out on the other end of, when Mercury and Venus come out of their retrogrades, we're going to come out on the other end in a new alignment between our heart and our head. And therefore, with a new goal, vision, and dream on what it is that we want to do, what we want to pursue. So again, we have to kind of, I'm going to say, just mind our P's and Q's, because there is an eager beaverness that may come off a little bit more aggressive than we would like and put us in a situation where we're being a little bit more combative than we typically would want to be, or that we should be at this particular juncture. We are still in Pisces season, and so there are endings and closures that need to happen, and Mercury being in this Spitfire energy of Aries is going to help us kind of say the things that we've been resisting and saying in preparation for a mess being made, because that mess needs to be made in order for those endings and closures to actually take place. We have to rock the boat, verbally speaking, if you will, but we have to do so with a little bit of class, and of course, obtaining and maintaining a level of respect, not only for ourselves and our thoughts and our ideas and, expressing our affections outwardly, but also having a certain level of respect for the people that need to receive all of this fire that we're essentially spitting. So it is going to be a very interesting dynamic, specifically because, again, Venus is currently retrograde in this Aries energy. So there's a lot of fire going on in our heart space. There's a lot of intense emotions. Those intense emotions are going to want to be expressed. Mercury in this Aries energy is a spitfire for expression, but again, it's going to come out a lot harsher than it really needs to. So we do have to be mindful of that. And again, I'm definitely going to encourage you, if you haven't already, take a listen to the March energy overview for the month, just so that you understand how Mercury is going to be playing a major part here. And secondary to that, please download your March energy guide. Really capture the pop-offs that are going to be taking place over the next couple of weeks prior to Mercury retrograding, because again, that is the mess that we are going to spend that retrograde cleaning up.